Today we're talking about forgiveness on this Freedom Friday Q&A. Here we go.
This is your life, no one else has gotta live it. This is your fight that only you can win.
Hello everyone and welcome to Freedom Friday, where you learn how to free yourself and live your dreams. I'm Darienne, your certified spiritual rock star. And today I'm answering a question, or better yet, doing a suggestion on a video about what forgiveness really means. This was suggested to me by Nicole James, who hopefully will be becoming my assistant. We'll see. Not an official announcement yet, but we will see. Okay, so she asked me to make a video about what forgiveness really means and I think that she's right in saying that I think people have a big misconception, and I think that people struggle to forgive because they don't even know how to forgive. And I think that the misconception is there's actually a lot of ego in the perception that we now have of forgiveness, a lot more than we think. So what I'm going to talk about today is really mentioned quite often in the book, A Course in Miracles. Every single day on Facebook Live, I do A Course in Miracles daily workbook lesson. There are 365. We are currently on, I guess at the time of this video, we're probably almost at like 190 or something like that, So join me there. But if you are a student of A Course in Miracles, maybe you've heard this. If you're not, it might be a new little way of looking at things. So the Course in Miracles says that, now in my own words, that the way we see forgiveness is like so. It's sort of this superiority thing where we say, you have done me wrong, you sinful person. And because I am so holier than thou and much more enlightened than you, I will let you off the hook for the wrong thing that you have done. And in doing so, in forgiving from that space, one, you're not actually forgiving. You are just saying, I am going to choose to ignore, not really ignore, I'm going to choose to acknowledge the wrong thing, or that you are sinful and wrong, but I'm going to let you be my friend anyway, or I'm going to let you live anyway, or I'm going to not punish you any longer because of it, or whatever. So what the Course in Miracles says, A Course in Miracles says, is that in doing so, in seeing one of your brothers or sisters of God, knowing that we are all connected and all one, in seeing sin in another, you are thus strengthening the perception of sin within yourself. And so when we truly forgive, what that means, according to A Course in Miracles, is that we drop all illusions and we go to the truth. The truth is that we are almighty, all-powerful spirits connected to God, connected to all things, connected to the energy that creates worlds, and we are pure positive energy, pure love. We have no opposite in the truth of who we are beyond this dimension of physicality. And that in that being, we are invulnerable. And so there is no possible way that anyone could ever actually hurt us, thus diminishing who we are. So if someone has attacked you in any way, or you feel attacked, or you feel someone has done you wrong in any way to any degree whatsoever, the fact of the matter is, the truth of the matter is, from a spiritual standpoint, or what I choose to believe and what A Course in Miracles says, is that your spirit has not been harmed. Your spirit is continually growing and expanding, and there is nothing that anyone could ever do to shake that, to shake the eternalness of you. In fact, you are only becoming greater in each moment. You are only growing and expanding in each moment. Your capacity for love is only becoming deeper. And so I think the biggest thing about forgiveness is choosing to let go of your fearful mindset and a willingness to receive the eyes of Source, to receive the perception of the eyes of Source, to see this circumstance from the eyes of Source. So one of the things that are, from the time that I'm recording this, which is a few weeks ahead of when I'm going to be putting it out, but we were on lesson 180 today in the A Course in Miracles daily workbook lesson. And the only practice in this, and it's about trusting our brothers, meaning brothers in spirit, meaning everybody, meaning all human beings. So the practice is anytime we may be perceiving someone as doing us wrong or perceiving sin in another, perceiving someone else error in another or whatever. If it feels bad, then that's, we're perceiving bad in somebody else. Anytime we perceive that, we just simply say, basically, in my own words, I choose not to look at this. I choose not to, I will no longer look upon this perception of sinfulness. I trust my brothers as I am one with them. And so that practice of saying, okay, I recognize that I'm focusing on, and what they said is perception has a focus, meaning that what we choose to focus on creates our perception. So when we focus on this sinfulness, which feels bad to us, why it feels bad to us is because it is not the way the Source within us feels about that person. The Source within us feels so insanely loving about that person. The Source within us knows that whatever that person did was not the truth of who they are. If it was perceived as bad, the person who perceived it as bad was not in line with who they are. And if they were attacking someone at that moment, they were not in line with who they truly are. And so it really is all an illusion, because at the end of the day, when we die, none of it really matters. None of that, because we don't die. Our physical bodies, we shed the physical body, we shed the ego, and we go back to who we really are, loving the shit out of everybody. And when we choose not to forgive, or when we choose to forgive in the way that I mentioned in the beginning of this video, which is, you're a terrible person, but I'm so enlightened that I am going to cast my grace upon you, thus freeing you. When we choose to forgive in that manner, rather than to forgive in the manner that says, I realize that I am in pain because I am not seeing from the eyes of Source, and because I so deeply want to feel love and freedom, I choose to see this from the eyes of Source. I choose to let you free my brother or sister of God, and thus I free myself. When we forgive from the place of superiority, the first one I mentioned, when we forgive from a place of fear, we limit our capacity to love. We condemn both ourselves and our brothers and sisters, because by saying that there is sin within you, we recognize that there must be sin within ourselves. And so when we forgive from a place of recognizing the illusion of sinfulness, if any of this makes any sense what I'm saying right now, we limitate ourselves and we say, we put conditions on the love that we are able to experience. So we say, if I were to ever to do such a thing that you have done, then I would not be worthy of love. That is why you are not worthy of love. And so I am condemning not only you, but I am condemning myself. But when we come from a place of love and we say, all of this is just a fucking illusion, and I am pure positive love, and you are pure positive love, and anything that we did in that point is because we were focusing on an illusion that doesn't really exist, and that is why it's so painful, because the pain is our inner being calling us back to the truth. And when we do that, we release the conditions for which we are able to receive and give love. Then we give love to our brothers and sisters, no matter what we perceived before that they have done to us, and we release ourselves. We broaden our capacity to love and be loved. So in the gift of giving our love to our brothers and sisters, no matter what they have done, not no matter what they have done, but realizing that they have done nothing. When we come from that place, we free ourselves. So in this video, I'm not saying that you have to forgive anybody. I'm saying in my own experience, and if this is the first time you've been watching this video, I invite you to go and see some of my other videos. You will know that I have been sexually abused. I have gone through very many tragic things. So I am not sitting up here on my high horse saying, y'all need to forgive everybody because ain't nothing really happened to you. That's not what I'm saying. I have been through a great deal. But when I come from this place, and trust me, you can't come from this place if you are not in the vortex, if you are not in a high vibe place, if you're not feeling good about yourself. Don't go trying to forgive people. But maybe read A Course in Miracles. Maybe do those practices with me every day on Freedom Friday, this is Freedom Friday, on Facebook Live. Maybe go through the workbook lessons. Maybe have a willingness to see through the eyes of Source. Maybe don't even have a willingness, but maybe recognize the fact that you are in pain means that you are seeing from the eyes of fear rather through the lens of love. And the lens of love is not to let that person off the hook, but to free yourself. And that feels a hell of a lot fucking better than anything on this planet. And so I will quote my personal development coach, once again, Janine Dietrich. The only love you have is the love you give. I will leave you with that. If you felt touched by this, I want you to comment down below, I am forgiven. And what that means is knowing that, and A Course in Miracles says this all the time, is that in truth, it is not our brothers and sisters or the people that have done us wrong that need to be forgiven. In truth, it is ourselves. Ultimately, the goal of forgiving ourselves is what we really want to reach. And we have our brothers and sisters to practice on. We have forgiving them to practice in forgiving ourselves, because through freeing you of the illusion of sin, I free myself. Through releasing you of condemnation, I free myself of self-condemnation. Through forgiving you, I forgive myself. So I invite you, if this clicked for you, if you have been able to forgive someone, I invite you to type down below, I am forgiven. All right, guys, I will see you next week. I love you very much. Stay tuned for a quick little announcement after this video. Mwah! Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope that you will share this video with whoever you think it will help, and I will connect an archive video a little bit deeper about forgiveness, struggling to forgive if you're having that issue. So go ahead and watch that after this. But I have an insane announcement. If you didn't catch it last week, on April 21st, our Freedom Friday will be a live Q&A webinar. I am so excited, and that will be to launch my membership program called Keys to the Empire. That's for those of you that want to go a little bit deeper, you want to get a little bit more, you want to get more specific questions answered, you want more specific tools, you want to feel even deeper in this community and really feel like a part of my tribe. So I will be launching that and talking all about that on our live free webinar right here on YouTube. Make sure you're subscribed to catch that. And if you want to submit some questions, go to DarienneEmpire.com/live webinar and register for the free webinar. And you can submit your questions right there. And I will answer as many of them as I can live on YouTube. All right, guys, I will see you next week. Bye.